Hello everybody. Today is Wednesday the 4th, 2025, if you're like me and you were wondering. So we've had a 2 weeks basically worth of mountains to climb. A little bit of turmoil there in the energy field. But despite the possible legalities and relationship issues that we've been picking up on, we've also have some of the most powerful energy in the runic magical deck in which to fall back upon for this week. So let's recap so far for Sunday and Monday, well, and Tuesday for that matter. So the overall energy, of course, for the week is Sowilo, and Sowilo is the sun. Again, it's the one of the most beautiful cards in the tarot deck. Means courage, strength, duty, honor, that kind of a thing. Again, the sun. And in the runic, world, it basically stands for many of the same qualities and attributes. Sun, again, victory, power, attack, enlightenment, honor, and the life force. Your life force. Okay? So that is the overall weekly energy. Very, very good energy to start things off with. Alright, and for Sunday, unfortunately, what we got is Othala in the reverse. Now, Othala in the reverse is a negative energy. It basically means recklessness, frustration, hassles, poverty, and homelessness. Okay, so those are obviously not very good, energies to have to deal with. But you know what? What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. I've been saying that, and it is very much a reality. In fact, it toughens you up. You build calluses, so to speak, on your psyche, so you can handle, even bigger challenges later on. That doesn't give us a whole lot to fall back on and say, oh, I'm gonna have more. Well, that's just life. You never know what life's gonna throw at you, So yeah, it's good that you have the tools in the toolbox to handle those types of things. So yes, challenges do make us stronger. Now for Monday, we got another excellent rune. We got Gibo. Gibo is the G in the Nordic. Let me step back. Sowilo, which is the weekly energy, is S in the runic language. Othala, and it doesn't matter whether it's upright or reversed, but it's the letter O in the runic language. Gibo, which is an X. Again, the X marks the spot on a treasure map. It's a good luck rune. Means gifts, equal exchange, change, offerings, partners, divine unions, and love. We can all use a lot more of that stuff, right? So we got some pretty powerful energy so far. And for both Tuesday, what we got, and those are the past energies, we got Isa. Now Isa is the letter I in the runic alphabet, and it looks like an I, a capital I. It stands for ice, stasis, frigidity, frozen, cooling. It also stands for focus and frustration. So again, all of these do go hand in hand with the advent of, like I was bringing forward from last week, the challenges of potential legal battles. And then on top of that, also relationship struggles of some type. They may or may not be related. It's hard to say. Again, this is for the collective, and that means there's more than one person out there that this energy is more or less, being picked up on. So with that being said, take that which resonates, and that which doesn't follow or is part of your current situation, I would keep in the back of my mind, because this energy is past, present, and future. And, energy flows like a river. So, just because it's not potentially happening for some of you out there right now, it may possibly happen in the very near future. Now, for those of you who have already experienced this, then we have some more guidance to help you to get to the other side of that. And for those who are, in fact, going through it now, such as me, then this will give you the encouragement and the strength to pull upon to get to the inevitable light at the end of the tunnel, as long as we persist. All right, so that was all the past energy, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Now the pre-Wednesday pull, since I did an advanced pull for the week on Sunday, all 7 runes, Sunday through Saturday. And for Wednesday, the pre-Wednesday pull, just like the post-Tuesday rune, was Esau as well. So I've already read to you what that means. Again, frigidity, stasis, cooling, frozen, also frustration and focus. So it's telling you that you need to focus on whatever it is that needs attention in your life right now, for the most part. So I've already called upon Odin. I've already called upon the Norns and the Norse gods, the Seer and the Vanir. I've also called upon all the other gods and goddesses from all the other faiths who would aid in giving us guidance for today. I've called upon the Fae. I've called upon Mother Gaia, and she goes by many other names. Birch God, many others, depending on the culture. And I've called upon the Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord Krishna as well. So again, I have an eclectic spiritual background, and I've read all the religious texts from all those different major denominational faiths. And I know that there are truths found in all of it. So, and I love, Krishna, and I love Christ, for example. Allah simply means God, so of course I love Allah as well, But with that being said, and already calling upon Odin 9 times, always sharing my own in the bag, I have 48 runes in here, 2 sets. So we're going to go ahead and draw the energy for today. What is the overall energy for my collective for today? And thank you. Overall energy for the collective for today. Thank you. We have Othala this time in the upright, and that's good. Let me write that there. All right. So Othala in the upright means inheritances, legacies, estates, family, ancestry, heritage, and property. So if you're like me, this could mean that perhaps your legal battles may be entailing, I guess you could say, regaining your personal assets. Maybe they were stolen from you. Maybe you have somebody who passed away and you're in somebody's will. And again, that those assets will soon be exchanged over to you. So Othala in the upright is a very, very good rune. And it's something that I have been actually praying upon myself. I don't want to have to endure the hardships, the drudgery, and sometimes seeming torture that is unnecessary to learn the lessons in life that I'm eager to learn. So I learn typically pretty quick, and I hope you, in like manner, when things go south, are looking for the lessons to be learned in those situations. There's always something, okay? Keep that in mind, and it's not so bad. I mean, it's not easy, but it can help you to get through it. Once you learn what you think the lesson may be, you learn that lesson, start applying those new skills and everything else, you'll get out of that, problem, if you will, much, much faster that way. All right. So far so good. That's a good way to start off for today's energy. Othala in the upright. All right, next we're going to pull for the 2 influences to our left and to our right. Remember now, what we're doing here in a runic river spread is we're actually looking at energy as it is flowing in a direction. The present and the future is still yet to flow by us. But the present is flowing by us right now. And we have influences as well that we have to deal with. Some good, some bad. Sometimes they're all bad, sometimes they're all good. We're going to find that out here in a second. And then, of course, what's yet to flow past us is the future, okay? And, time, energy, fate, it's all fluid. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, with that being said, we're going to call upon the first influence for the day. What are some of the influences for my collective for today, please? And thank you. Influences for my collective for today. What are the influences? And thank you. Okay. What have we here? Again, So Willow. And it's in the upright. We're going to assume that it is. It's one of the 9 runes that, you know, it is the same either way, up or reversed. So, but feeling the energy for the overall week being so positive, even though we have mountains to climb, that is true, and starting off with a very positive energy as well. This also feels to me very, very positive. So Willow in the upright. Okay, that's a good influence. Now, what does it mean? Well, Willow in the upright again is like the Sun card or the Leo card in the tarot deck. It means sun, victory, power, attack, enlightenment, honor, courage, life force. Those kinds of attributes, all positive. Now, I'll read the negative just in case everything turns south on us here. We'll see. But for me, what I'm feeling is very positive today. It's self-centeredness, false goals, gullibility, destruction, and the wrath of Almighty God. Now, that's not good. We hope that's not the case, right? Yeah, we don't want Thor raining down that thunder on us, and Odin as well, you know, his wolves and his ravens. So, influences. So far, so good. Influence, please, for my collective. What is another influence for my collective for today, Wednesday, the 4th, please, and thank you. All right, Legus. But Legus is in the reverse. This is the letter L in the Nordic alphabet. Okay, it's reversed. But let me recap. This is So Willow. It looks like an S, only it's straight lines instead of curves. This is Othala in the upright. Okay, a diamond with legs, so to speak. And I just showed you Legus. Now, Legus, even in the negative form, is not that bad, really. It means escaping, it means temptations, greed, confusion, poor judgment, despair, and fear. So once again, we have the angel and the demon on both shoulders of us right now. But we are standing firm in a very positive energy, which is Othala in the upright. So with Legus, again, meaning, you know, things that are not so good, temptations, greed, confusion, poor judgment, despair. We always have decisions that we can make. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And sometimes we have a lot of influences that are maybe trying to force us into making a not so good decision. So what are you going to do? Are you going to use the moral compass that you have built over your lifetime? Or are you going to succumb to weakness and give in to temptations and so on? That's really what it's telling us right now. We have the overall energy of Othala to fall back on. And again, with So Willow twice in our reading. The overall energy for the week, as well as the energy for today, as far as an influence. So again, negative and a positive influence, and the positive energy in and of itself with Othala. So let me write that down. And Legus in reverse. Now finally, we're going to pull our future rune. The future has not yet happened, obviously, but it could happen 5 minutes from now, 5 hours from now. It could happen 5 days from now. It's hard to say because, again, it'll be different for everybody out there, and because energy is fluid. There's no way of saying with any certainty. So it really depends on which one of these issues that we've been talking about is, your issue. The legalities and everything else could be, again, regarding the personal, relationship issues that we brought up over the last week and a half, or in this case, as we've seen today, it could actually be something better. Maybe you're in somebody's will, somebody's passed on, and if that's happened, my sympathies, of course. But on the positive side of that, it looks like maybe somebody's left you in their will. Or it may be something else. Maybe you're winning some other type of lawsuit or legal battle. So we've been seeing legal battles echoed for the last 2 weeks straight, very consistently. So that could be a positive thing in this case as well, as we're seeing today. Now let's see what our future tells us. What is the future energy, please, for my collective? Future energy for my collective today, please. What is the future energy? And thank you. Okay, future energy. I was. Again, it looks a lot like Sawillo, but it's slightly different. Now, Iwas, or Iwas, is the way it's pronounced, I believe. Iwas is another very good rune. Okay? Now, Iwas, again, this one is in the second set, or Ayat, or group, or family, which is governed by Heimdall. Heimdall is the guardian of Asgard itself, and that's where, the gods Odin, Thor, Frey, and others are basically, that's where their world is. Now, to give just some insight into the Norse scheme of things, there's 9 worlds upon the world tree. Some of them are very good, some of them are not so good. Some are inhabited by giants that are, somewhere in between good and evil, that they have different temperaments. And others, they have ice giants and fire giants, and some of them are nasty creatures, all right? And Thor and his hammer keeps them at bay, especially those of the ice world. So, the 9 worlds, of course, Asgard being among them, is the chief world. And that's the world where the major gods more or less reside. We are at Midgard. Midgard is what we call Earth. And we have, 7 other worlds that, basically dwarves live within, elves, which are dark, elves, which are of the light. We have the ice giants. We have the fire giants. And then we got hell. Now, hell in the Norse religion is not a place of torment and fire. It's a place of rest and reflection. What the heck did you do wrong? Reflect on that. Now, the good or the courageous among the Norse anyways, upon their death, the Valkyrie would come down, which are the female warriors sent by Odin, and they would actually raise those who were worthy in battle up and bring them to, Valhalla. In Valhalla, they basically party it up, for eternity. They're drinking and eating. The gods in the Norse religion are a little bit different. They're more like us than they are, perfect in all their ways, kind of a thing. They eat, sometimes to excess. They drink, they make love, they do it all. They make war. It's no different really than most of the other, I'll say all the other religions, even Christianity. Christ is coming back to make war with the beast, right? So, and he's riding back in his white steed with his flaming sword, just like Kartikeya, in the Hindu religion. I can't remember what the name is in terms of, other Abrahamic beliefs and so on. Just say it like that. And then basically, of course, Christianity, Christ is coming back on his white steed as well, with his flaming sword to do battle. So just to give you a quick rundown, there's so much to Norse mythology, and it's actually fascinating. And if you like that kind of stuff, if you like, for example, the sagas of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, you like those movies? Well, that is all Norse mythology right there. In fact, what's the wizard's name? I forget. I haven't seen those movies in so long. Gandalf the White Wizard. he is actually modeled after Odin himself, which actually takes that form as well. So he's either dressed up in his battle armor and so on, ready for war, or he's dressed up as a wizard, if you will, pointy hat and all, wandering the 9 worlds. So that's Norse mythology for you. Now back to the energy of our future, Aiwas. Now Aiwas basically stands for the yew tree, and again, remember now, the Norse were basically a pagan belief system, which was nature, centered, if you will, like most of the pagan religions are, or Aboriginal belief systems. It doesn't matter if it's non-Abrahamic. It's more or less looked at as being, worshiping the nature itself, as well as the gods and the goddesses. So again, it means yew tree. It means death, and that means there could be a possible death that you are going to experience somewhere immediate in your family, which goes along exactly with the inheritance, energy that we just picked up with Othala and the upright and so on. But it could also be the death of a cycle. If you're going through hell, for example, that could mean that it's finally getting ready to close out. That means you get to start a whole new cycle, and that's what I'm hoping and praying for. Trust me, it's been almost 65 years for me. So it's been hell. I've had to battle so many battles, but I've endured. So I know I'm going to Valhalla. I'm partying it up. I'm also going to heaven at some point. But heaven, according to Jesus himself, is actually inside anyways. He said it no less than 3 times in the New Testament. So heaven's not out there somewhere. It's inside you. So, and I believe that. I believe what he says. I have a problem with the Bible as a whole. I don't believe the Old Testament and the New Testament really jive. And as I look at the words of Jesus, I don't see that he actually did say or signify really that he was really truly following certain aspects of the old the first 5 books of the Bible, the Torah, for example. That's a whole nother issue, and it would take an entire freaking video on itself to go over and to try to make my case on it. But it's very, very fascinating the more you look into it. And I look at the Gnostic side, which is another 60 some odd books, 70 books, and we're looking at a completely different thing that emerges in terms of what Christianity is and isn't. So very, very fascinating the more you do your comparative religious studies, and you see how it really does go with and not oppose spirituality. So I'm more of a spiritual person than a religious person, but I had to read and go through all the religious texts and all the religious writings that I could get my hands on and absorb them to get to that point. Some people, and some I actually know, a lady, for example, that I'm very familiar with, she got there because she's very, very intuitive, very spiritual. And in fact, I look up to her in a lot of ways. I've never told her that, but I do. And I will tell her if she ever talks to me. Hint, hint, if you're ever watching this. But, well, you already know now anyways. But anyways, aside from the yew tree, it also means, and death, it also means protection. So, like I said, it doesn't have to mean a physical death, although it could mean that. And the physical death ties in with the inheritance energy, but it could also mean the death of a cycle, which could also play in terms of getting, monies and so on in a court battle. We're getting a lot of legal issues, so you have protection. This is a rune that you would carry for protection. In other words, this and Thuris has, for example. It also is the rune for rebirth, so again signifying the potential of closing out a cycle. That's good. It talks about rewards. Again, rewards in a legal battle. That's very positive. That's what we want to hear before we get out there and stand before the man, right? I usually take over the courtroom. I've been to court several times in my behalf and a few others because I know a lot of other things as well. I'm what some would wrongly classify as a conspiracy theorist. So I'm just trying to give you a little heads up of who I am. And as such, I own Black's commentaries on law and many other things. So I know that, for example, the legal system has been usurped, just like our legal system has been usurped, just like our financial system was usurped in 1911 through 13. And the government as a whole was taken over again by 1917. So, and I have proof of all of these things. It's not a conspiracy theory if you can prove it. And the more evidence I have, the less of a theory and the more of a probability, until eventually the more likely, in fact, it is indeed a reality. And I have a ton of verifiable information. Not just by secondhand or third parties or anything like that, but I'm talking about from the horses' mouths themselves. So I share that information. I will be sharing that once I get resituated again. I'll be sharing that information with you as well, and I'll have access to the software again and all the things that I'd recently lost, and I'll be able to make some top-notch videos to share that information with you all, and I hope you'll take a look at it. And these will also get better as well. But as we can see here, the overall energy for today is very positive, and it's helping us to clarify in the energy that we've already got in terms of legal issues and in terms of potential family related dilemmas. And they happen. We all have them. I certainly do, and I'm sure that most of you do too. There's very few people I've met who have a perfect or even a seemingly perfect family. The ones that seem perfect on the outside are usually the most fucked up ones. Excuse me, Facebook, or excuse me, YouTube. But it's true, and it's the most used word in the English dictionary anyways. It can be used for just about anything. So, but it's true. The families that often seem the most intact and so on the outside are really the most screwed up, behind closed doors. Not always. I don't want to put everything into a lump sum, but in my experience, that certainly has proven to be true many times over. But what we have here again, you guys, unlike yesterday, we're leaving with a very positive energy for today. So if you do have court battles, again, remember the energy of both Thurisaz, Thorn's Rune, and Iwas. These will actually help protect you in those battles. It doesn't matter if it's physical battle, actual combat, or if it's actually a legal battle. It even talks about that in the energy, it's the description for these runes. So remember that before you go into a court, battle of any kind, and just invoke that energy. Ask that energy. Claim that energy before going in there. I claim the energy of Iwas. I claim the energy of Thurisaz, before going in that courtroom. And you will be very well protected, and you'll be given the words you need as well if you're expected to testify in something. So it's all very good. Like I said, I've testified for not only for my behalf, but for others in many cases. And I often take over that courtroom. I put the judge in his place so many times. Well, there's been one issue where I almost got locked up. He didn't like being told what's up, so. But I can do that because I have the knowledge. They can't pull shit over on me. And that's the way you all out there should be as well. Don't believe anything anybody tells you. Not me, not anybody, until you found out that it's true for yourself. And don't let anybody tell you what to do or how to do it or anything like that. Be a warrior, man. I mean, that's what life is. You're either a sheep or you're a wolf, basically. And being a wolf doesn't necessarily mean you're out there eating all the damn sheep or anything, but you certainly can if you have to, right? It's better to be a warrior working in a garden, as they say, than a gardener out there trying to fight a battle. You know what I'm saying? And again, it doesn't matter if you're peaceful, if you can't do any type of harm. It just means that you're basically, you're a passive individual and they can get over on you. But if you are capable of doing harm and you choose peace, then you are a true warrior. On every faith, it doesn't matter if it's the Far East, whether it's the far north, or southern and western regions, they all have a very similar belief system in regards to that attribute. Okay, so use that, and God bless to all of y'all out there, and I hope that whatever it is you're battling, that again, you remember these energies, which today were all very good, all of them. Even the reverse of Laguz wasn't that bad, and it's definitely overcome by the other 3 runes that we pulled today, which are all good, and the overall energy for the week as well is good. So I wish you all well, and I will see you again hopefully tomorrow. So I'm going on 2 weeks out here in the freaking wilderness, you guys. So I'm hanging in there tough too. I just want to let you all know. I want you all to hang in there tough as well. And again, I'll talk to you tomorrow.